The year kind of overtook me, and I realized I never did something I intended to do like a month ago, which is kind of showing you how we're tying together the book to the actual lessons. So what I did is I created this Gmail account that's just CPS Geometry. It's just a free account, just one I just made up just for this purpose, and I'm sending all the information to you in this email. But my idea was that as all the geometry classes throughout the district are going through this year, we could probably start collecting those lessons, and if we could figure out a way to name them and kind of reference them easily, it'd be a database that we could use and kind of add to every single year. So instead of just submitting one model lesson for the book, we'd essentially be able to submit 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 lessons for each one, giving us a lot to choose from. So here's how it works. Like, this is just a Google form I put together with the required information. So the idea is, so like, let's say you or your PLC comes up with this lesson that everyone thinks is really great and aligns well to one of the standards or maybe one of the objectives. This gives us a way for them to submit the lesson, and using this form will give us a really easy way to file name and then cross-reference and search within the Google Doc. So here's how it works. So just have to answer these questions, and I did set it up where multiple classes could use it, even though the Gmail account I intended originally just for geometry. That was one of the suggestions I got, was to make it kind of applicable to everybody. So let's say I'm setting up like a Algebra 2 lesson, because I know nothing's in there right now. Then I have to be able to name that Algebra 2 lesson using like the Common Core coding, which I don't know what it is for Algebra 2, so I'm just going to make up something ludicrous just to demonstrate. So A99912. So that gives us a Common Core coding that we can find in other resources, and also for the Appendix A referencing. Here's where you can claim authorship. You can put PLCs down, you can put buildings down, you can leave a blank in case you don't want to claim ownership. It's not a required question. We have a date here, which you can pick by a drop-down menu, enter in yourself. The purpose here is it can give us some tracking how long it's taking people to actually progress through all the Common Core standards. That was a suggestion from another teacher as well. That way, if we ever do have a chance where we can kind of talk across the district, at least we have this to look back on and say, hey, look, it took us this long to get to this standard. Is that reasonable or not? This file name actually becomes part of this description of the lesson becomes part of the file name. So this is where something we have to be careful not to get too wordy about, but let's say this is, systems of equations. So like 3. So like systems of 3 linear equations. However you guys want to name it, that actually becomes part of the file naming system. So that becomes a searchable thing that people can find. Because I know you'd mentioned at one point that they may not have this coding memorized, but if they're looking for something for systems, they can search here. Here's actually where they could either copy and paste like entire lesson or directions, depending on how it's been set up, or we can just give a much more detailed idea of what the lesson is, maybe objectives, if it has some course material that comes along with it. So this is just a longer description. Like I said, and again, how you format this is completely up to the author. It's like they can do like the objectives. You can even put like materials. However you guys want to format the lesson. And then down here, so if you have other files that go along with it, worksheets, notebooks, stuff like that, you can include it as a link. So like going to your own Google Drive or Dropbox, pulling out the public link, and then copying, pasting the link here. And that's obviously not going to be a link to anything. I also thought, since it's tied to an email address, if you don't know how to do that, you can simply submit the lesson through cpsgeometry@gmail.com, which is what owns this Google Drive account. And then you can be able to, some end user, unfortunately, is going to have to go grab those out of the email and put them into this file folder with the right naming convention, be able to find it really well, which is really the only flaw in the system, but I couldn't think of anything better. And then you simply hit submit, and then it confirms that you submitted something. So here's what happens in the actual Google Drive. If you, let me pop back to the drive. So here's actually where those forms collected a response. Okay, wait, oh, that's too small. List view. List view. Oh, list view. Okay. Okay, so you can come down here. These are all ones that have been done. A couple people have done it. I've done a few test ones as well. But you can see right here, this is the one I just submitted. Algebra 2, crazy coding. It's all fake anyway. and the links. And you notice this part right here, I put something on top of this Google Doc or Google spreadsheet to automatically generate a form, and those forms are what's actually searchable. So here's the form responses. The program Google Docs takes those form responses and sucks them up into a template document I made. This is a template document I made right here. So it takes those responses, puts it in those fields in an organized fashion, and it lands into this depository. So you can see, like, it's instantaneous. So here's the one that I just made that's completely fake. There it is, and you can see how it's automatically naming the file. So here is the code. Here is that short description that I made. So you could definitely search it up here in this field. So like, let's say I wanted systems. If I search it, you can see how the two things actually have submissions pop up that has systems as a searchable name. If I just want to search like A999, same thing. So I can, again, search very quickly and very efficiently using the built-in features of Google Drive. When you pop open that, it pops open a file folder, or I'm sorry, a file where it's taken all the form responses and organized it into, I don't know what to call it, like a cover letter, like a cover thing. We could even print this out and make it part of like whatever system you have, or whatever teacher has to kind of track what they're doing. So this is like a cover letter to the lessons. If you have links, they're going to pop up right here. The only downside is these links don't always become active, so they're going to have to copy and paste it, which I made a note there for that. But this was a plan I had on the back end for the geometry book. So I don't know if you want to use this, or if you want to use this. This is just the best idea I had at the time. And I never actually told you that I had executed the idea. And so no one across the district knows about this. But I think if we can all do it, that might be a way we can start collecting lessons in a very organized way. And really, it didn't take long for me to do that. Like if you look at the time, like I was able to accomplish that form in just a couple minutes. It might take some people longer that aren't familiar with how to quick link, but that's a teachable problem, you know. So anyway, that's what I have. If you guys like it, that's fine. If not, I can always destroy this account or just forget about it too. So just kind of tell me what you want me to do with this, or what you want to do with it. I'm sending all the account information in the email, along with all the a document that has all the formative items that are in the book. Because I realize it's very difficult to pull things out of the book and put them into your own tests or quizzes or assessments. And also, there's some typos and some things that need to be changed anyway because I wasn't able to go through and really proofread very well, unfortunately. But anyway, that's what I have. Thank you.